Greetings and salutations, everyone. Thank you for joining me for another Spirit Stream. So, true story, we may have created a monster. And it's really funny, but it's also really real. And so this video, this stream, is actually a bit of a warning, but it's also a very fascinating story and something that's really important for mystics everywhere to be aware of if you're not already familiar with this concept and with what I'm about to share with you. So in order to explain the monster that we've created, first I have to introduce the concept of the Tree of Death. Now, many of you might be familiar with the Tree of Life, both as a universal concept as well as a Kabbalistic diagram. And to show you a more detailed specific diagram, I have here a Patch Tarot card, and I'm going to, hopefully this will focus. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. So that is the Kabbalistic Tree of Life. It is a symbol of 10 spheres that specifically is a diagram of, it's like a map of creation. So very simply, it's like, let's see, focus please. Thank you. At the very top is considered the Godhead, and then there's these 9 emanations down from the supreme light of the creator, or the source field, however you want to call it, and then all these emanations down into the material universe. Now, that concept is a very old one, and we've been exploring it to great detail, both within Patch Tarot, as well as even Spirit Science episodes, especially about the Tree of Life. And if you haven't seen those, you can just do a quick search, like on YouTube, for example, Spirit Science Tree of Life. It'll probably be the first several that come up, and we have made 4 episodes so far about the Tree of Life. Now, there is a concept also within Kabbalistic magic called the Tree of Death. And the Tree of Death would be like, if this is the Tree of Life, focus, thank you, yes, good. This is the Tree of Death. It's basically like the reversal, oh, there we go. The reversal, darker, evil, malevolent version of the Tree of Life that blocks access to these higher dimensions or emanations of God, right? So it exists within our consciousness, but they are considered the demonic realms. Like when you talk about hell and Satan and Lilith and all these like sort of, archdemons or archdemons of the darker aspects or darker dimensions, literally Dormammu was a great example from Doctor Strange, right? The dark dimension. All of that can fall into the realm of the Tree of Death. So this has been something that we've been aware of for a long time. I first became aware of it when I was learning the Tree of Life when making Patch Tarot, which of course is the card that I have here. And if you haven't seen, if you're like, sorry, if you're so new to the concept and you're not familiar with Patch Tarot, this is actually like a Spirit Science tarot deck that we've created that allows you to work with the Tree of Life, tarot, astrology, numerology, Kabbalah, Hermeticism, like the whole works of the whole thing is in there. I'm not pitching the cards. I'm just telling you this exists, and this is how I learned about this stuff. Although it would be pretty good pitch. I mean, they're literally, the cards are on my walls, but you get the point. Now, let's see. I just got some notes here. I'm just double checking, making sure I'm covering all my bases here. The Tree of Death is a thing, and the way that I learned about them was specifically with the tarot reversals. You might be familiar with how reading tarot works, but like upright, they have a meaning, and then reverse, they have a meaning. And in some practices, the more hermetic and traditional Kabbalistic tarots, the reversals actually relate with the Tree of Death, as the upright relates with the Tree of Life. And then it creates like a container for you to study and practice and work with those energies while you are studying and working with the cards in like a safe, practical, grounded way. Like for example, this is the King of Wands. So his upright key is audacious and his reverse key is reckless. So the reckless would be, it's like a personality trait or a type of behavior that's associated more with the demonic or malevolent force of ego within ourselves that is related with a certain vibration on the tree of death. Okay. We'd received, now to get to the monster, we've received some requests from people for us to talk about the tree of death and the emanations, which are called the Qliphoth. And we thought that was a good idea, specifically because it's a concept that very few people know about. And it seemed as though a very important thing to share and to open up the floodgates of conversation around, because it's like you can't transmute the darkness if you're always kicking it under the rug or refusing to look at it, right? If we're here to be transmuters of energy from lower states of vibration and consciousness into higher ones, then we have to be willing to look at ourselves and we have to be willing to face ourselves. And we thought the tree of death was absolutely something that we needed to look at. Fair enough. So we made a video. And this is how I think we might have created a monster. Everything went wrong with this video to the point at which, like, our whole team believes that the video itself may very well be cursed. Like making a video about the demons of hell and all the layers of hell. Maybe summoned them by accident. And so the video took longer to make than normal by like several weeks. Everything went wrong from the apps that we were using to make them consistently crashing, renders not working, overheating the computers, several just lasting issues that have actually been affecting us. We're like solving them now that the video is done. And even just like personal things. In fact, in the last spirit stream that I did, I talked about this car accident that I got into, which literally happened within a week after we started production on this video. So that could be a direct correlation, but I'm not going to claim that that's what was the direct cause, but interesting to note. And I myself have had some very interesting and strange dreams lately that involve monsters and like things being unleashed. And I'm like, very peculiar. And so this video, after everything that we've went through, like our most skeptical members of our team noticed that things were really weird around this video. It's kind of like how on horror movie sets, you often hear about like people getting injured or hauntings or weird things happening on horror movie sets because they're like probably invoking dark spirits of some kind in the process of making the film. And I think that we got to experience that firsthand, and it was a very interesting process. And truthfully, like our whole team were like, whew, we're really glad this video is done. You know, just washing our hands of it. But now comes the next part, because we have to unleash this onto the whole world. And don't worry, we have a disclaimer at the very beginning of this video of like burning sage, activate your Merkaba, call in your spirit guides, and then do the whole thing again when the video's done, if you decide to watch it at all, because it could actually lead to, we don't know what. Like literally could be nothing. This could all be just like a circumstance of, you know, happenstance and coincidence that just made us believe that the video was haunted. Or the video could be haunted. And so this spirit stream specifically is a warning, because this video is coming. We have an intention to publish it within the next 2 weeks, actually. Not this Monday, but the one after that. So we have 1 week to anticipate, to prepare for this coming episode. And I wanted to tell you about this in advance so that you could take some time to really, you know, get your energy right, so that if you do watch this video, you're prepared for what may happen, which could be anything or nothing, depending on your level of energy going into it. We do feel like we have to publish it. And the reason why is because it's educational on subjects that a lot of people are afraid to discuss. Like this is actually the thing in like Kabbalah, going back into the sort of the history of Kabbalah, this information was generally like a taboo, like you don't even talk about it, because people weren't equipped to deal with these kinds of things. And so it's very important for us as we're going into this, like part of the video itself is dealing with these energies and working, like transmuting them, right? Doesn't stop it from coming in, it seems. And just to reiterate, again, the best way that I've personally found to work with these energies is within the container of tarot, specifically because you get the reversal and then you work with the turning of it upright. You work on the correction of that energy by having it in reverse and then flipping it, and finding out within yourself the way to transmute the energy from the darkness into the light, or revealing the light, or shining the light in the dark part of yourself and illuminating your consciousness. And so, yeah, we can't transmute the darkness unless we face it. But, and this is the part of the thing about the Qliphoth, which is if we face it, sometimes we can't help but have it like come into our lives, which is the big kind of warning about this video is like, if you watch it, you might not have a choice. Like we were working on the video and even people who were just like, you know, just drawing, like had very little relationship to the script, ended up seeing weird things happening in their reality. And so that's just something that kind of comes along with this territory. And I wanted to let you know because you should be aware. We may have created a monster with this one, everyone. And I'm sorry. But also not sorry because it really genuinely felt like an important thing for us to do, for us to make this thing. And so, you know, just really quickly before we wrap this whole thing up, I will say on the subject of the tarot, you'll notice that right below here on this like text right there, it says you can download the free Patch Tarot Starter Kit, which includes a free guided meditation, the Wisdom Wall, as well as the first chapter of the Book of Patch, which specifically is this massive super book that I spent a year writing along with designing these cards. And the first chapter is, how many pages is this? 129, roughly, like this much of the book. There you go. Yeah, about that much. So that is available for free, and it does explain a little bit of the Qliphoth that you can, you know, start to learn about. So if that is something that like you are curious to learn about and want to go deeper into, just get the free download and start to explore these things. And if you really want to go further, there is a Patch Tarot app that makes it really, really easy to both learn the reversals and the uprights of the cards and do readings right there on the fly. And so that's on the Google and Apple App Store as well. So to end this spirit stream, thank you for everyone for tuning in again. It's kind of a crazy story. True story, happened to us. We're sharing it with you. Be warned, be ready. This is coming. But, you know, as part of this warning, again, like everything is perfect and in divine order. So whether you watch it, whether you don't watch it, whether things happen when you do watch it or everything is fine, no matter what, like it's perfect. And if you do find yourself working with these energies, just know that you are you are putting yourself in the position of being a vessel of transmutation to change things from darkness to light. And that is really the bottom line. But still, it can be intense. You know, I got into a car accident. Again, not sure if that's the same reason, but it after I realized that the whole Qliphoth was like haunting everyone, I was like, huh, whoa. And I have one person who's in Texas and that like is frozen over right now. And she was one of the head people working on that video. So I'm like, did we cause that? Probably not, but that would be very interesting to consider. Anyways, this is your warning. The cursed video is coming and it could create some kind of upheaval. Maybe not. Could be reading into it. We may have created a monster. Maybe everything's fine. At any rate, I just want to say thank you again for tuning in. Don't forget the free download if you haven't got it already. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.